Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight for this session of alignment. My name is Molly Hicks. I'm one of the board members for alignment and one of the session leaders as well. And we're thrilled to have with us this evening Bakhtavar and Faredoon Desai. Faredoon will recite some ancient Zoroastrian prayers in the Avesta language for us. These prayers were composed thousands of years ago, and Bakhtavar will interpret them for us. And many of you may have seen their calendar of light entry from last December, which has traveled all over the world. We are really grateful to you both for being here and for sharing your gifts and your ministry here with us this evening. Thank you so much.
Would you like us to begin?
Yes, you can begin.
So my name is Bakhtavar, and my husband, who we refer to as Ervad Faredoon Desai. Ervad is just like saying reverend, for a priest in the Christian religion. In the Zoroastrian religion, we say either Ervad or Mobed. So I would request Ervad Faredoon to recite a verse from the Gathas, which are the hymns sung by our prophet Zarathustra almost 4,000 years ago. These ancient hymns of our prophet are composed in the language in which he spoke, which is also known as Avesta.
So I'll recite the prayer, and actually our prophet wanted us to sing the prayer, so I'll try to sing it as best as I can. Atacha to I vayem kyama, yoi im freshem karinaum ahum, mustaus cha aura onko a, moyastra barina asarcha, yat atara manao bavat, yatara chishtish angahat maeta, Adazi avadrujo avo, bavaiti skendos payat rahaya, ata ashishta yaujente, ahushito ish vangehush manangaho, mazdao ashakyacha, yoi jajenti vangaha yaho sravahi.
So in this hymn, our prophet inspires humankind to constantly keep working to undo the wrongs happening in the world, to renew and renovate the world when it gets afflicted with destruction, so that the forces of good are constantly overcoming harm caused by negative forces in the world, and we, humankind, are those forces of good. We have to join hands with one another to fight all evil and constantly rejuvenate and restore our hurting world to a state of peace, security, and happiness. May we improve life for everyone around us each and every day of our lives. This verse ends by saying that may all of us be among those people in the world who renovate life here in this world on the basis of righteousness. And now, Ervad Faredoon will recite a prayer composed by our prophet himself that we call Ahuna Vairya.
Ahuvairyo, atharatush ashachit hacha, vangehush tastamanango, Shautinanam angehush masdai, Shatrim cha ahurai ayim dregubyo dadatvastarem.
So in this prayer, what he just said, our prophet is trying to tell all humankind in the world that to have a peaceful and prosperous world, we need good leaders. We should choose with our good minds, both our spiritual leaders and our earthly leaders, based on that person's righteous record of competent service to humanity. Under such righteous leadership, no one is wronged or oppressed because such a leader inspires the people to be kind, compassionate, and caring towards everyone. Such a leader inspires the people to show compassion to the helpless and the oppressed, to uplift and rehabilitate them. Such righteous leaders inspire us to show our compassion towards all humankind through our kind and caring actions. When we treat our fellow human beings with care and compassion, peace and happiness will prevail, and we can renovate our world into a heaven on earth. And the last ancient prayer, also composed almost 4,000 years ago, is called Vispa Humata, and Ervad Faredoon will recite it for us.
Humata, Vispa Hukata, Vispa Varashta, Bodo Varashta, Vispa Dushmata, Vispa Duzukta, Vispa Dujvarashta, Noit Bodo Varashata, Vispa Humata, Vispa Hukata, Vispa Huvarashta, Vahishtem Anguhim Ashaeta, Vispa Dushmata, Vispa Dujukta, Vispa Dujvarashta, Achishtem Anguhim Ashaeta, Vispanam Cha, Humatanam, Hukatanam, Huvarashtanam, Vahishta Anguhi, Aat Hacha Chitrem Ashaune, Ashem Vahu Vahishtem Asti, Ushta Asti, Ushta Amai, Yat Ashai Vahishtai Ashem.
This is a prayer we believe is for a more peaceful, just, and happy world. In this ancient Zoroastrian prayer called Vispa Humata, we learn that when mankind unites in their good thoughts, good words, and good deeds, together we further the progress of our world towards greater peace, greater justice, and prosperity. Bad thoughts, bad words, and bad deeds can only lead mankind to an unhappy and painful state of existence. Therefore, let us all resolve today that may we all remain united through our good thinking minds, so that all the words we express and all the actions we commit to are dedicated to furthering peace, justice for everyone in our world. On behalf of our Zoroastrian community of North America, we thank you all for giving us this opportunity. And if you have any questions for us or about our religion, about our prayers, we are here to answer them.
Thank you both so much for these prayers. We have plenty of time for you to share additional ones. We have until about 20 more minutes. So if folks have any questions or reflections that you'd like to put in the chat, you're welcome to. Also, feel free to tell us where you're joining us from in the world, because we know we have many people from many different parts of the world with us today. I just wrote in the chat that praying for peace and justice in the world, for unity, for leaders who work for the greater good is such a crucial message that I think many of our religions and spiritual traditions share. So thank you for that message. And folks, in the chat is a link to a document that contains these prayers and the messages and the translations of them. So you are welcome to click on that to be able to save that for future reference. And please feel free to place questions in the chat if you would like.
I'm going to get a prayer book and you can pray Tandarusli for them. My husband is going to pray what we call a Tandarusti prayer, that we pray for the family, for the community. So he would like to pray it for all of you present here today. And in the meanwhile, if you have any questions about our religion, I would be happy to answer. We are from Cincinnati, Ohio, by the way, and we belong to the Zoroastrian Association of Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana. So all the Zoroastrians of the 3 states have formed an association, and we are part of that.
I also wanted to mention that the prayers that I did were exactly the way our prophet had recited them for 4,000 years ago. So they've been carried down by word of mouth for almost 2,000 years by word of mouth, and even later on, after it was written down in text. But from father to son, for generations after generation, it was carried on.
Thank you. That answers one of the questions that came through in the chat. How were these prayers passed down?
Yeah, so the priests would pass it down to their children. Usually it's the boys would become priests, so they would learn the prayers, learn the ceremonies, and continue the tradition.
Yes. So until the Zoroastrian religion existed in the ancient Persian Empire for over 1,000 years, from around 500 BCE to around 500 ACE. Before that, there was nothing in writing. So everything that was considered really sacred had to be passed down orally. And almost until after Christ's birth, that we started putting down all our sacred texts, including the Gathas, into writing. And as Faredoon said, the words of these 3 ancient prayers are not changed by the Zoroastrians over the last 4,000 years. Our pronunciations may be a little off because we don't know exactly how they pronounce the words, but we try our best based on the scholarly guidance to pronounce them. And there was one other question about what is our daily prayer routine.
Yes.
If we have time, I will definitely talk about it, but Fred is ready to pray a prayer called Dua Tandarusti. Dua means a wish for your good health. So he's going to pray for everyone present here today.
Thank you.
Banane yazad, bakshayende, bakshayas gare meherban, yatha huverio atharatu shashachi thacha, vange hush tazau manango, shautinana mange hush mazdai, shatrim cha ahurai ayim dregopyo daratvastarim, yatha huverio atharatu shashachi thacha, vange hush tazau manango, shautinana mange hush mazdai, Shatrim cha ahurai ayim dregobyo daratvastarim Tandarasti de jivashni avayad Kore angahad ashahidar Yazdane minuan yazdane getian Aftamisha spandan myazad roshan hame berasad Induayabad in kuahabad Ame andar Cassandra Zartushtri din shadbad Aidun bad ya bari khoda vande alam rao, hame anjuman rao. Ba farzindan hazal sal der bedar, shad bedar, tandarost bedar. Aidun bedar barsare arjaniyan, salaye besayar, vakarnaye bishumar. Baki va payan dedar, hazaran hazar afrin bad, sal khojaste bad. Roj Farokh Bad, Maha Mubarak Bad, Chand Sal, Chand Roj, Chand Ma, Besayar Sal Arjani Dar, Yajashne V Niyarashne, V Radi V Jor Barashne, Ashahidar Avare Hama Karo Kerfe Ha, Tandarosti Bad, Neki bad, khub bad, aydun bad, aydun taras bad, vayazdan vamishaspandan, kame bad, ashem vahu vaishte masti, Ushtasti Ushtamai Yatashai Vahishtai Ashem. Thank you.
So if I were to explain what he prayed in short, it was like showering the blessings of good health, a holistic good health, which is health of your body, mind, and spirit. Showering the blessings of not just God, but all the divine forces in the universe upon you and upon all of your children and your future generations. Um, he also said that may each day of your life, may each month of your life, throughout your life, you be blessed with goodwill towards everyone, that you live your life in such a way that you derive your happiness from bringing happiness to others. So all the nice, good blessings that we need to have a truly happy life, which cannot be measured in material wealth, but it is measured by what you feel inside your conscience and how your spirit feels. That kind of happiness may you have as long as you live, and may it continue to live through your future generations.
Thank you so much. That those prayers for health and the internal wealth of abundance inside are very meaningful to all of us, and we all need those prayers for well-being throughout the generations. Thank
And
you.
since
That's
we do
touching.
have some more time,
Yes.
we can actually recite our daily prayers, which we can finish in about 5 minutes. And at the end of each prayer, I will just explain in gist, what the message of that prayer is. Why is it so important for us to remind ourselves of those messages through these prayers? So can we begin? Okay. Yes.
Kennamasdam,
Mavaite
Vaite
payum dadat, yat
Yat
madre gavau didare shatha, ainangehe anyam twahamat, atharascha manang ascha, yayau shotnaish ashim troshta ahura, tamoi dastavam dainayai fravucha, keveri trim jathava poisingaha, yoi hinti chitramoi dam ahumbish, ratum chisti, athoi bahu sirosho, jantu manangaha, mazda amai yahamai, vashika hamai chit, patano tabishyan tatpairi, mazda ushta armaitishta spentascha, Nasidaivi druksh, nasidaivo chitri, nasidaivo farkarashte, nasidaivo fardaite, apadruksh nase, apadruksh dvar, apadruksh vinase, apakhedre, apanase yehe, ma merein chainish gethao, astavaitish ashahe, nemascha ya armaitish ijaja, ashim vahu vaishte masti, Ushti Ushta Amai Yatashai Vahishtai Hashem. This prayer reminds us that God has given us two best gifts, which can take us through life in peace and with confidence, and knowing that there is nothing in this world that I cannot do if I believe that I have a beautiful, good thinking mind and a loving, warm, caring heart. Because with a good thinking mind, you clearly think and make good decisions, good choices. And with your warm, loving, glowing heart, which we believe the divine spirit lives in each and every human being, which makes us so warm and loving and caring within, we can be kind and compassionate and spread love in our world. And if we believe in those two beautiful gifts that are given to all human beings by God, then there is nothing in this world that we cannot solve when any problem comes our way, when we feel hopeless about something that has happened. We should remind ourselves that let us clear our thoughts, let us stop feeling hopeless, let us stop worrying and stressing, and let us think how we can use our beautiful, good thinking mind to try and resolve the problems that have come our way, and we will be able to do that. The second prayer, this is a series of 3 prayers that we do as many times a day as we want to, and most of us do it at least 3 to 5 times a day. So the second prayer is called Ahura Mazda Khodai. Ahura Mazda Khodai, Ehriman Avad Shan Duravaz Dashtar Zat Shikasteban, Ehriman Devan Drujan Jaduan Darvandan Kikan Karafan Sastaran Gunegaran Ashmogan Darvandan Dushmanafriyan Zat Shikasteban. Dushpat Shahanavad Shanbad, Dushmana Satohabad, Dushmana Avad Shanbad. Ahura Mazda Khodai, Az Hamaguna, Patet Pashemanum, Az Harvastin, Dushmata, Duzukta, Dujvarashta, Mem Pageti Manid, Oim Goft, Oim Kard, Oim Just, Oim Bun, Budested, Az Anguna, Manashni, Gavashni, Kunashni, Tani Ravani, Geti Hinoani, Oke Avaksh, Pasheman, Pase Gavashni, Pa Patet Home. Schnautraurahe Mazdau, Taroidite, Angrahe Mainiush, Haityavarashtam, Hyatvasna, Preshote Mem, Stau me Ashem. Ashem Bahu Vahishte Masti, Ushta Asti Ushta Mai Hyatashai, Vahishtai Ashem. Yatha Ahuverio Atharatush, Ashachit Hacha Vangeheush, Dasdamanango Shyatananam, Angeush Mastai, Chatrimcha Ahurai, Ayim, Dregubio Dadatvastare. Yatha Ahuverio Atharatush, Ashachit Hacha Vangeush, Dasdamanango Shyatananam, Angeush Mastai, Shatrimcha Ahurai, Ayim, Dregubio Dadatvastare. Hashem Bahu Vahishte Masti, Ushta Asti Ushta Mai Hyatashai, Vahishtai Hashem. In this, the first part of this prayer, we are telling ourselves that we should try and refrain from allowing any negative influence touch us. Our minds, our hearts, our thoughts, words, and deeds should be free of any negative or bad influence that comes our way. We should thwart it. We should try and be good soldiers in God's army and try and fight everything that is taking us away from furthering progress in our world, from furthering good in our world. So by fight, I don't mean in our religion, we don't believe in violence. So whatever we need to do has to be done peacefully through verbal inspiration or through your actions. Live your life in such a way that people are forced to come to follow you in your footsteps, and they're forced to turn into a new leaf. So if they are doing bad deeds or bad actions in their lives, you can inspire them to become good people and do good deeds and good actions in your life. In the second part of the prayer, we say that, God, if I have committed, and every human being commits follies and mistakes all the time. So we seek forgiveness from God and from everybody in this world to whom we have done some wrong. So we seek that forgiveness, and we pledge to ourselves that we will try to remove all our bad thoughts and fill our minds with good thoughts. We will try not to speak bad words and hurt others, but speak only good words and make others happy with our good words. And make sure that we fill this world with such good actions that in our lifetime, we help in contributing something to furthering good and progress in our world before we leave this world. And in the end, we say, Haitya varishtam hyat vasna, freshote mem staumi ashem, which means that with this, I take a pledge, God, that I will always stand by you. I'll be your friend, and I will be your helper in this world as long as I'm living. And now the third prayer is more like taking a pledge of all the good teachings of our religion, that may we always stick to those promises that we take in these prayers and live them through our actions in this life. And it's called Jasme Avange Mazda.
Jasme avange masta.
Jasme avange mazda, jasme avange mazda, jasme avange mazda. Masayasno ahmi, masayasno zartushtrish, fravarane astu tascha, fravare tascha, astuye humatem mano, astuye hukatem vacho, astuye huvarashtim shothanim, astuye dainam vanguhim, masayasnim. Firash Payokadram, Nidhasanati Shem, Quaid Vatam Ashunim, Ya Haitinam cha, Pushyaim Tinam cha, Majish tacha, Vahish tacha, Srayesh tacha, Ya Ahuirish Sartushtrish, Vispavohu Chin Hami, Aisha Asti Dainayao, Vanguyao Masayasnuish, Astuetish. Hashem vohu vaishtemasti, ushta asti ushta mai, yatashai vahishtai Hashem. So in this prayer, we encapsule the core of our prophet's teachings, which are to live our lives with righteousness, to always admire, support, and bow our heads to wisdom wherever we see it, because after all, the name we give to God is the greatest wisdom. And we believe that if God exists in everyone, everyone has some wisdom to offer, and we should never ignore somebody's wisdom or treat it disrespectfully. But whenever wisdom in any shape or form, whether it's from a little child, from someone our age or an elderly person, or through Mother Nature in any shape or form, wisdom comes to us, we should learn from it, we should respect it, and we should use it to grow ourselves spiritually. We also believe in not only us being self-reliant, but helping everybody in this world who needs a little help or a nudge to become self-reliant. So this prayer is basically just encapsulating all the good teachings which exist in all the religions, but this is like at the end of these three prayers, we finish our prayers by making a promise to ourselves that we should never forget what the true teachings of our prophet are, and we should try and live them through our actions every day.
Thank you so much for sharing these prayers with us. Such, as you indicated, such universal messages, and yet also very particular in many ways to your particular tradition. I hear so much integrity, wisdom, tenderness, care for one another in the prayers that you've offered tonight, which from the chat and from my heart, I know have deeply touched us all. Friends, there were several links placed in the chat for resources, including some that were provided for us tonight ahead of time. Also, folks have shared in the chat their own resources. So I hope if you're looking for additional information on these particular prayers and devotions, that you follow those links. Deep gratitude to you. I hope you're seeing the chat with all the love that is pouring in for you this day. And friends from wherever you are in the world, we're very grateful to you for joining us from different parts of the world. Thank you deeply for attending today, whatever time of day it is for you. And we hope that you join us at this same time on future days. We do this every Sunday in our Eastern Standard Time, but it might be Monday for some people at the same time for 30 minutes. And next week we have an interfaith prayer gathering, prayer in a time of war. So we really need some of these very same messages that you have shared with us tonight. We are, again, so very grateful for your presence, all of your presence with us, but especially Ervad Faredoon and Bakhtavar. We are so grateful for you.
Thank you so much,
Thanks a lot
everybody.
for having us.